We're back, coming back after a couple week hiatus of Coffee with the Coaches. I'm Coach Brad Dunn at University of Lynchburg, and joined by Jon. Jon, you don't look like you're at your garage or in your home anymore. Where are you?
Brad, we had 50 to 75% of businesses have opened up. Quarantine has sort of lifted, so my kids are in daycare right now. So I am over at Lamppost Coffee in their back patio. So it's nice to be out and be out of the garage. So,
Oh, man.
Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I got a special guest here with me. Pumpkins decided to come down and joined our video podcast today. So hopefully he stays there the whole time. He can be a rascal sometimes too. We'll see. We'll see what he gets up to. We're doing pretty well. The last few weeks we've kind of taken a break, and we all wrapped up our school years in May, and had a chance to kind of decompress and continue to talk to people. And I think that that's what we wanted to come back with today. You and I were talking about some of the things that we're doing now to get our teams well connected, and maybe even a little more connected than we normally would in this time of year. Not a whole lot going on with them as pools are slowly opening up across the country. I know a few places have limited pool space reservations. Some people are still waiting to open their pools, and we trust that everybody's community and everybody's families are making the best decisions for themselves and the safest decisions as well. So we respect that for sure. But it's exciting to see some of that kind of coming back, and we're excited to see that. And you and I were saying that we kind of got three things to talk about today that are things that we've done, and want to share this out with other coaches. We don't really have a guest to interview today, a little different format. So we want to talk about things to do with our teams, and want to hear your ideas and continue to share before we get back to other special guests. So Jon, what was it you were just saying? We'll give you the first spot. What was the first thing that you've been doing to connect with your team right now in this unusual off season?
Well, one is just reaching out to them. We had a fantastic academic semester GPA-wise, so really very proud of my men and women for achieving. Men had a 3.5, ladies a 3.6 cumulative GPA. So one is reaching out to them, congratulating them on a fine achievement academically. Next was reaching out. I'm a big postcard guy. I like sending out postcards to recruits and to our incoming freshmen. So just congratulating them, sending them a postcard, congratulating them on graduation and from high school, and just kind of a few words of encouragement. So been doing that, and then this week been trying to just 5 text every day to our current sophomore, juniors, and seniors, just kind of checking in to see how they're doing. And it seems like a lot of most of our pools in Texas have opened up gradually with maybe an hour or two, but if they get 2 hours, that's fantastic. But a lot of them are getting at least an hour in the water. So a lot of positive stuff that's happening, and I think moving forward. But Brad, you had some great stuff. We were talking yesterday about what you're doing as far as communicating with your current student athletes. Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, that was something cool that kind of wanted to get some structure into catching up with everybody. So we put up a whole list this week of sign-up slots like we would normally do with our individual meetings on campus, but doing one-on-one video calls. And I think if anything, it's been very encouraging for me to just go call after call after call, sharing excitement about the upcoming season. And everybody kind of has their own plans for getting back to campus and getting back to pools, but whether when any kind of changes to schedule and all of that, we're all sharing the excitement of just being back together, right? Family and culture are at the core of both of our programs, I know, and just being back in the pool or back on deck and just back around one another is what everybody's so excited about. And so that's been a great thing this week. And then another fun thing that kind of took off was we started off. We did one night where we were just going to do some team trivia, and it's turned into a pretty competitive weekly event. And so Thursday nights, which is this is Thursday afternoon right now, so Thursday nights we do team trivia. where we show a Google Slides presentation with the trivia questions. The teams can answer. They all usually groups of 2 or 3 people, and they talk on their cell phones while watching on their computer, and they figure out the answers and then submit them through a Google Doc. So it sounds a little complicated, but it actually works out pretty easily.
What
And
what type of questions are you asking? Can you ask a trivia question to me and see if I will guess it, Brad?
yeah. So one of them, so we always do 4 categories. Every week, the first category is always swimming questions. And
Hmm.
then the second round, then we mix things up. And so we've done mascots for teams or brands. We've done some that are geography questions, history questions. And so thinking about
I
history
love it.
questions that we asked last time. Oh, we asked the name of the ocean liner that was sunk that started kind of got things going in World War One.
Hmm.
You know what the answer to that one is? It was a
Um,
British ocean liner headed to the United States that was sunk by a German U-boat, accelerated the United States entering World
was it the Queen Elizabeth? No,
the Lusitania,
Lusitania.
which that was a fun one because my great-grandfather actually immigrated to America on the Lusitania, which is pretty cool.
And being a history major, Brad, I should have known that.
Yeah, but
So
that's but then,
that's a good one.
that's another question. Here, another question was we gave them a multiple choice answer with it, but the first known swimming goggles. Do you know what they were made out of?
Ooh, swimming goggles made out of, I don't know, wood.
They were made out of like turtle shells. So I don't know how you saw through them, but they made them out of like polished turtle shells. Tortoise was the name. I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, this one I know you'll get, but I was very disappointed on how few people got this one correct. But I asked what famous swimmer had the nickname the Torpedo? Do you know the answer to that one?
Ian Thorpe.
Yeah, exactly. One of my all-time favorite swimmers, and some of the teams got it right, but a lot of these guys were swimming, and Ian Thorpe, especially, he competed in the Olympics before some of our college swimmers were born. So
Yeah, we're
it's great
looking at
to
in his
think about.
prime was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
So
but
I
yeah. So
like it.
anyway, so
That's a good idea, Brad. I like it. I
yeah,
might start that with our team.
yeah, and I think the thing is that one of the things that's dawned on us is that by creating some content and being a little bit more proactive right now, just knowing that there's not a whole lot going on for our athletes, we're kind of creating more team culture and getting people connected faster than we would in a normal off season, where usually we've got our swimmers are out there doing summer league practice, and they're lifeguarding all day and then going to club practice, and everybody's schedule is so full during the summer that you kind of take a break from the team, and then we get everybody back together in August. And it's nice that we're just doing a whole lot to incorporate our incoming swimmers with our returning swimmers. And that's another thing too with trivia. Try to always match up somebody who's going to be coming in for their first year, match them up with some upperclassmen, so that that it's a good, almost like an icebreaker, getting a chance to talk with one another and figure out some of these trivia questions. And we've got one group that's won every week, and so we took a break last week. They ended season 1, and so tonight starts
Yeah.
season 2, and they got a target on their back for sure. So the questions are going to get harder tonight. And
So instead of like team 1, team 2 numbers, they give themselves nicknames?
yeah, they pick a new nickname every week, and our returning champions usually go something with like the undefeated champs, and they really rub it into everybody else. So,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but it's been close a couple of times, so we'll see. We'll see how tonight goes. But I look forward to it too. I think that we talk about always looking after the well-being of our swimmers. That we got to look out for each other as well. And I know a lot of coaches were hurting, and it really struck me a couple of weeks ago that right after Memorial Day, right, would have been the first day of summer league practice for a lot of teams and a lot of coaching friends that rely on that, for income, but also, for livelihood. And it's one of the things that we're all passionate about. and just having that, just gone this year for the first time that any of us
Yeah.
remember. So it's tough. It's tough for coaches, and it's one of the things that has really brought me a lot of joy, just to see my swimmers' faces on on a big web call like that, and to joke around with everybody, and not have to continue to dwell on serious conversation. Being able to have some lighthearted fun, and it's pretty good. So I've been very excited about that. So I know that I wanted to keep it short today. Is there anything else that you kind of had for the message, or anything for us to look forward to in the coming weeks?
No, I think everything seems to be changing weekly, and I know we've been on our daily Zoom calls with our working on a plan and action that's safe and effective. And so, I think it's just kind of there's so many ways to communicate, Brad, and continue to communicate with our student athletes, our fellow coaches, and there's always going to be times some difficulty of mental health, I think, for our student athletes and even our coaching staff. So it's good just to continue reaching out, continue to if you ever reached out to an old teammate or an alumni, now's the time to reach out, and it can be simple as a text, just something to make sure everybody's doing well and staying positive. So but coffee helps throughout the day, right, Brad? So
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
but I think it's just using this time as continuing to being spending time with family and finding new hobbies and finding new ways to to continue to just a good mental standpoint. I think is beneficial. So, but
Absolutely.
Brad, yeah, awesome. I mean, it's been a few weeks, and it's good to see you. And hopefully, the next week we'll have some more special guests coming on and moving forward.
Oh yeah, I know that you and I both have some good guests lined up, and excited to get them on. And
Uh,
yeah, we'll look forward to seeing everybody back here soon.
cool.
All right,
All right, man. See you later. Bye.
bye guys.